Elon Musk strapped a six-figure Tesla Roadster onto a rocket and shot it into space just to prove he could do it. And that was just the beginning, because this billionaire plans to spend the bulk of his wealth sending human civilization to Mars. We weren't kidding about the car thing. Elon Musk really shot his $100,000 Tesla Roadster into space. And the reason behind it might blow your mind. Before creating SpaceX, Elon took a trip to Russia to buy some missiles to kickstart his rocket company. And instead of selling him the rockets, the Russians just laughed at him. Even though Elon Musk left empty-handed, he held onto a grudge that only ended after he shot his perfectly working Tesla Roadster into space. Elon proved that he was better than the greedy Russian officials who refused to sell him the rocket, even if it cost him over $100 million to create SpaceX. If you don't want to end up like those Russians who missed out on an opportunity of a lifetime, you need to subscribe to the channel, because you won't find videos like ours anywhere else. Elon Musk might be one of the richest men on the planet, but he isn't the best person to take relationship advice from. He's been married 3 times to 2 women and has an on and off relationship with other women. But that doesn't mean he doesn't take good care of them, like the time he thought it was a good idea to give his wife 3 different engagement rings. He first started off with a respectable $100,000 ring for his wife, and while it featured a sizable diamond, it wasn't big enough for someone of his status, so he upgraded it to a $350,000 piece. This engagement ring was bigger than the previous one, and you would expect that she would be happy with such a massive ring. But despite its size, it didn't have the variety in precision stones his wife liked. So Elon did what any respectable billionaire would do. He bought her another ring. Only this time, the ring didn't just have a massive diamond. It also came with a band of sapphires. The third ring cost Elon Musk a whopping $1 million, and it was meant to show that he was really serious about her. Unfortunately for everyone involved, the marriage didn't last, and his ex-wife walked away with a $15 million settlement for her worries.
I think my ex-wife is sort of, she's a prolific blogger and writer, and I think she likes to talk about these things, and I don't. I decline to participate in divorce wars, enticing as that sounds.
We might not know why Elon Musk has terrible luck with women, but it might have something to do with his horrible fashion sense. He barely dresses like a man worth several $billion, and he makes it worse by wearing some strange accessories. Like his one-of-a-kind Tag Heuer Carrera Caliber 1887 chronograph, which features a drawing of a rocket on its back. Tag Heuer made the watch with space travel in mind, so you don't have to worry about gravity affecting your timepiece. And you don't have to break the bank for the watch, since it costs just $10,000 to own this watch. While the SpaceX watch was an official product, Elon rocked a red Tesla Jordan to an event that almost had Nike filing a lawsuit. The $1,500 Tesla Jordans were a custom job done by a friend, and he didn't get permission from Nike before showing off the shoe. Luckily for Elon, Nike didn't go after him for the shoe, and it ended up locked up in his house, never to be seen again.
I mean, it's legal, right?
It's totally legal.
Okay.
How does that work? Do people get upset at you if you do certain things? There's tobacco and marijuana in there. That's all it is. The combination of tobacco and marijuana is wonderful.
I'm not a regular smoker of weed.
How often do you smoke it?
Even though Elon loves to talk about space travel, he has one of the weirdest collections of cars ever assembled, and you won't believe how old his first car is. Even if we gave you 100 chances to guess the age of Elon's oldest car, you would never come close, because this madman thought it was a great idea to own the world's first gas-powered car. The car in question was the 1920 Ford Model T, and it kicked off the automobile revolution, so of course, he had to own it. With how old it looks and runs, it's crazy to think that anyone would even spend $1,000 on it. But our man Elon Musk dropped $25,000 to add it to his collection. This 100-year-old car might look strange, but it has nothing on Elon's next car because it doesn't just drive on land, it can also turn into a submarine. No kidding. It was a Lotus Esprit S1 submarine car made for the James Bond film, The Spy Who Loved Me, and it literally transformed into an aquatic vehicle. Once Elon discovered the car at a storage sale, he immediately snatched it up for $1 million. With two of the weirdest cars ever made, Elon needed something normal to convince people that he wasn't some freak show. So he opted for one of the fastest cars ever made, and it almost cost him his life. For a guy who grew up around normal cars, Elon Musk didn't know what he was getting himself into when he decided to buy a $1 million McLaren F1. Car enthusiasts know how hard handling these types of cars can be, and Elon experienced it firsthand the day he had a fatal crash that totaled the car and sent him to the ER.
We hit an embankment, sort of a 45-degree embankment on Sand Hill, which tossed the car into the air like a discus, and it kept rotating with about 3 foot of air clearance, according to witnesses, and then slammed down on the ground, going the original direction. And we blew the suspension out, now it didn't actually wreck the car. The core chassis and the engine were okay.
Thank God.
But all the glass and the wheels and everything was shredded, and there was massive body damage in the front and rear.
Luckily for Elon, he survived the accident and went on to create the electric vehicle company Tesla, which produced cars like the Cybertruck and the Model Y. But remember that Roadster Elon shot into space? He had his company make an updated model, which is faster and safer than anything on the road. And when he isn't using a Tesla, he has a few other gas cars, like his $250,000 Porsche 911 Turbo, his $80,000 1967 E-Type Jaguar Roadster, or his $95,000 1978 BMW 320i. Since he gets to use every car the company creates, he probably never needs to ride the other cars. Overall, his car collection is worth over $7 million, but that's chump change when you operate at Elon's level. We've already talked about how Elon Musk put down $100 million of his own money while creating SpaceX, but that was nothing compared to what he spent on the EV company Tesla. Unlike SpaceX, which had Elon as its founder from inception, Tesla was different because he was just an investor who saw the future potential for electric vehicles. He watched the company hit a few successes with a revolutionary battery, but things began to take a turn for the worse not long after. The company was bleeding cash, and it looked like it was going to go bankrupt. Like several other small car companies, Elon was left with the choice of letting the company die or investing a large chunk of money into the company again. And you can already tell what happened. Apart from his initial $6.5 million investment, Elon had to double down on his investment with $130 million more spanning several years. This also meant Elon had to take an active role in the company, going from just an investor to its CEO 8 years after his first investment. Cars and rockets aren't the only things Elon is fascinated by, which is a shocker because the man only thinks about leaving the planet. Since he can't quite get his dream yet, Elon Musk has to make do with conventional air travel. And let's just say, you can tell he loves flying because Elon owns a lot of jets. His first jet was bought way before Tesla and SpaceX, and it was a $60 million Gulfstream G650 ER, which arrived before he became a billionaire. He had it tweaked out with things like a dining room, a bedroom, and reclining seats for that premium relaxation on long flights. For most millionaires, a single jet should serve all their needs, but Elon was on his way to being a billionaire, so the G650 was just the beginning. He soon followed it up with the Gulfstream G55, and instead of buying the $62 million jet and calling it a day, Elon copped 2 just because he could, and it didn't end there. As soon as the latest Gulfstream G700 got made, Elon Musk made the exclusive list of billionaires who had the option to get their hands on the jet. You don't need to be a genius to figure out that Elon made the call for the $60 million jet. And it's crazy because the new plane is only slightly bigger than the G650. For someone with the balls to go head-to-head with Russian scientists, you would think his prized possessions are his rockets or car, but it's actually his children. Elon Musk has 11 children with 3 different mothers, and he has them living the most complicated life imaginable. First off, he doesn't allow his kids to go to public or private school. Instead, he built a school from the ground up named Ad Astra, and you won't believe what they teach them. While you and I had to worry about geometry and history, Elon's kids are being taught courses like artificial intelligence and ethics. And they don't have to worry about flunking out of school because Elon also abolished grades in the school. To bring this dream to life, Elon had to donate the building and provide $5 million worth of funding to get things rolling. His kids also have access to his jets, and he spends an average of $1.5 million on their well-being a year. When you remember that Elon has 11 kids, that number shoots up to a measly $16.5 million a year. With such a massive family, you have to wonder how he even keeps the kids together whenever they visit. Elon's solution to this problem was buying his kids a massive $37 million estate in Texas with everything they would ever need. Even though all his kids don't share the same mother, he gets them to spend quality family time together in the 14,400 square foot compound, and it's been good so far. With a swimming pool, a game room, a cinema, and a gym in each house, it feels more like a gated community than a single man's home. Even though Elon's kids get to spend their time together on the massive estate, it's nothing compared to the home Musk bought from Willy Wonka from Charlie and the Chocolate Factory. Elon bought the $13 million home from Willy Wonka actor Gene Wilder, and it's the weirdest looking house you've ever seen. From the strange art on the wall to doors being put where windows should be. Elon has always loved strange things, so as soon as the home went on sale, he didn't waste any time in acquiring it. But that doesn't mean Elon Musk lives there because, unlike most billionaires who spend a lot of time in their expensive homes, Elon spends most of his time sleeping on his office desk. Being the CEO of massive companies means he barely gets time off, so why buy more homes when he can just sleep at the office? With how Elon throws money around, one might think his most impulsive purchase is one of his jets or his kid's compound. But as it turns out, he spent billions of dollars on something you and I can get for free. It all started with a frustrated tweet from Elon, who thought Twitter could be way better than it was with its fake news and censorship. Instead of idly complaining about the app, Elon Musk had the crazy idea to change everything he hated about the app, and all he had to do was buy it. Instead of going through the proper channels, Elon's plan involved secretly buying the company's shares until he had a lion's share of the company. With everything set to take over Twitter, Elon went on a rant on the website, which tipped off execs at Twitter that he was planning something. Once they found out about his plan, they tried to scare Elon off by claiming they would only sell the company for way more than it was worth. The plan was foolproof because they didn't believe he would really spend the crazy amount they were asking for. But Elon Musk isn't someone you try to outmaneuver because he called their bluff and took Twitter off their hands for an obscene amount of money. At $44 billion, Elon's acquisition of Twitter was the most outrageous sale anyone has done, just to change a few things he hated about an app. Once he took over the Bird app, he started tearing everything down, and he went as far as changing the name of the website to X. Seeing how he overpaid for the app, Elon plans to make it into a super app with all the functionalities you could ever wish for.